The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Welcome, everybody, to Sunset City. Thank you so much. I know we had our borders closed for a little while there. We had a bit of quarantine after that Sonic infection we just had. But here we are here. We are here. We are live. Finally. I'm one of your hosts, Nick, and with me I have giant cat boobies, Suris. And actual Satan, Channel Pup.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, literally, we can't even see your cleavage in this one. It's below the table. Literally, no one's going to watch now.
So, hey, hang on, Suris, you don't have any sound at all. No.
You need to Oh yeah, that's great. First, move the boobs first, and then you can sort the sound. Yeah, there.
Oh my god, there we go. It's working now. Jesus. Everything is... So for everyone who knows, since this is our first stream on Sunset City, even though normally I've got all the streaming tech perfectly solved because I'm the one that does our recording for the shows, for some reason logging into Sunset City on YouTube through my recording software blew everything up and destroyed it. So here we are with everything just half working.
Yep, it's fine. We've had a disaster zone all morning. We'll plan better for the future, but I'm very excited to have all of you here joining us for the very first time. I've been wanting to do this since episode 1. And man, we got a lot of feelings to work out, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so let's go with overall impressions first. Guys, what did you think of the Sonic Central stream?
Gonna be perfectly honest, there's some stuff in it that I didn't care for too much, but there's some stuff that I was actually like really excited that they showed on screen, and they did when they did the announcement for the quote new Sonic game, they did it basically how I said they probably would. They went full Metroid Prime 4 with it.
Oh yeah, no, we both mentioned that, like, we thought they were going to do exactly that, and they did. Pup, what did you think of the stream?
Oh yeah. It almost sucked. So I had to, before starting this stream, while Suris was having toilet trouble, I had to rewatch a good portion of the original stream because I forgot a lot of it. But I'm gonna save the details on that for a little later. What do you think?
Well, first, I got people telling me in the chat that I'm too quiet. Suris, can we work on that at all?
Yep, I just turned you up a little bit. Everybody in chat, please let me know how Nick is sounding now. Perfect.
Okay, I'm still mixed, honestly. This played out pretty much exactly like I thought it would. I think this is just the start of things. I think there's very clear and obvious pandemic issues that have held them back a little bit here. But I don't think we're done with announcements. I think that's just the start of things. But I think the state of things, I'm excited about one very specific thing to a certain degree, but everything else I'm kind of lukewarm on. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Well, how about we go ahead? How about we go ahead and just take this one thing at a time, because we all have mixed opinions. But what we can say is, first of all, what was the thing you were most excited about? Because I know for me, the thing that got me the most excited out of that whole thing was seeing them say specifically, when they were doing their the classic remakes, they were going to have upgrades and new tweaks, which to me reads like, oh, we're actually going to be getting something akin to a Whitehead port of these. And that actually made me very excited.
I'm going to wait till we get to the S3K stuff. I know people are waiting for me to talk about that specifically. I think we should just go bit by bit here, like from the start of the stream.
Okay, so
and then go from there.
The first thing was, I think, the concert. That was the first thing.
Yeah, the Sonic Live concert.
Now, obviously, I would be pretty excited for that if it was an in-person thing. As a live stream, okay, I understand why it has to be. So it's cool. What I'm kind of interested in is that they're doing Mania music orchestral. I thought, it's going to be like the 25th anniversary thing where they did a Sonic 1 medley. But no, it looks like there is actually a little more to this. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm perfectly fine seeing it as a digital event right now because, pandemics and all that other fun stuff. I will be a lot more excited when we can get something like that in real life because I live near Atlanta, so like we get the Zelda orchestra here and shit. So I would like to see it live.
Oh, hey, just a quick note, Suris.
Super chats are working.
And
Super chats are
working.
Jamal is so awesome. Like he talks to me on Patreon.
I love this guy.
Yeah, he talks to me on Patreon. He always leaves comments. I don't always respond, and I apologize, Jamal. And it's always good to hear from you. Thanks so much, man. Fellow Sally fan, because this man knows what's up. That's what's up.
No, but he always leaves such nice, wholesome comments as well. He says this time though, Tier B Theory and Nick X Saliation certainly can do if you just let my brain fluids get to work.
We got no B's, we got no Sallys. I am very disappointed with the stream.
No B's, no Sallys. Everybody's upset now. I'm sorry, guys. There's no way around it. The entire thing was scuffed.
Sally Acorn's OnlyFans was not announced, so Nick is giving it a 0 out of 10. Isn't that right?
Basically. That's how we roll in this household.
We stand Sally
the
here.
Orchestra, I'm very whatever about. I'm super whatever about it.
Okay, I think next up was Sonic joining the official video game of the 2020 Olympics. I'm gonna go ahead and say, when they first announced this, I was like, "There's already a Sonic at the Olympics."
And
But then
then
I saw his mascot suit, and
it was so goofy.
I thought that's justified. But I was like, "Really? You're gonna lead with this? You're gonna lead with this?"
It was so good. Are you kidding me? I was expecting another fucking Unleashed asset, but no,
It's a whole new one.
There we have it, folks. We finally have a new Sonic character design in the game.
You know what I bet?
So good.
You know what I bet? I bet you there was one person on the Sega team that saw the I think it was New Frame Plus, the Sonic animation video, and they were like, "Wait, you think that our character looks like a mascot, like a person in a mascot costume in video games? I'll show you what a real person in a mascot costume looks like."
So guys, we're still getting a lot of we have to work on our volume here. I'm still getting people. I turned up my volume to hear Pup, and Suris broke my ears. So we're getting our same podcast issues as before, so we'll need to sort that out.
We do have some more financial love, which is the best kind of love. Anim Soltron sends in $4.99 and says, "Really hyped to play Sonic in Hospital game." Yeah, Sonic. I think we can get to that in a little bit, because I think that was the next thing they advertised.
Yeah, like, here's the thing about that first part of the stream. I keep thinking about, like, YouTube videos that were just like, here are all the Sonic cameos through all the ages, and I feel like they just literally gave us that for the next set of years. Like, here's the Sonic cameos in recent games. Like, that's all I got from it. It was cute, and I'm gonna buy both those games. I've wanted to play 2 Point Hospital for a minute now, so I'll do it, because now there's blue spikes in it.
We've also got another one from that guy Flaming, sends $3, says, "Very excited for the Sonic Encyclopedia. Aren't you fucking clever?"
He is. That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so what did you guys think for any of these cameos? We don't need to spend a whole lot of time on them. Are you guys gonna play any of these games anyway?
I've got a better idea than the Sonic Hospital thing. Rather than having Sonic costumes for the hospital people, have a game where you have to nurse a sick Sonic back to health.
Jesus Christ.
Can it be
Sonic
like
has
that?
Irritable bowel syndrome. Help him.
Can it be like that one? Can it be like that one Stephen King novel where we just break Sonic's kneecaps and go, "No, you need to stay here. Seriously." Oh no, we couldn't do that. They already did that in Sonic Boom.
That'd be
Never
Amy
mind.
Rose. That'd be the Amy Rose game. Are you kidding me?
Our good pal Jamal is back at it again with another $2, saying, "Nick X Sally Akron forever, best ship alive."
Where is that? Where is that fan art? Huh? I keep asking.
Is it not literally your Twitter banner?
Oh.
You're giving her a look. I'm gonna say that
edited.
straight up.
No, that's straight up edited Archie art. Like, that's actual Archie art.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, but
There's no pretty sure. That's what it is. One of my mods over on my Discord edited my Kaylee, by the way, fantastic artist. She just edited my colors onto the character that Sally was talking to in those two panels. It is notorious Archie art. I cannot wait to talk about it. The Callie, yes, you guys get it. Fantastic. Oh man.
Also, hello Webster. Sorry to hear about your irritable bowel syndrome, man.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Sorry,
we gotta get Webster on the show soon. I love that man. He's got
Webster.
so much good insight. And he needs more views on his channel. But yeah, so all right, we got through the cameos. So the one thing I did want to talk about before we move on to the actual meat and potatoes here was Lost Judgment. We did talk about that briefly on our predictions, and I mean, Twitter got it right instantaneously. Like, anyone who's played a Yakuza game knew exactly what they were referencing there, which was, we're going to get some kind of Sonic reference in the arcade booths.
Yeah,
I just saw that and thought, why? You know? But I'm a bit of an outsider on other Sega games, so maybe you guys can enlighten me on that one.
Yakuza, they all take place in Japan, and they all have Club Segas in there. They have, like, real world recreations of Sega arcades, which, because Sega's always been huge in arcades, especially in Japan. That an entirely different business than what we're used to in our own countries.
See, here arcades are dying.
I mean, it's more of a niche thing now, or a barcade for us in the States. But Yeah, they just recreate those, and you can play a lot of classic Sega games. And sometimes, strangely enough, there's so much care in there, like that's sometimes like the best way to play those games. Like I know, like Virtual On, like the arcade version of that game, is in one of the Yakuza games, and that's like probably like the only way to play an arcade perfect of that game officially at home.
Mhm.
It's fascinating. So I'm curious to see what they do with Sonic the Fighters, if it's just going to be arcade perfect or if they're going to be like Xbox Live, bring in Honey the Cat as a playable character. Did I buy that? I did buy that. Never mind. I gotta tell you, and I gotta keep saying this again and again. I really wish they brought in the popcorn machine or Waku Waku Patrol car, because there's never going to be a more creative way to interact with that machine than like, unless it's like in a VR unit or in something as outlandish as the side stuff in the Yakuza games. So that's where I'd like to see it, because they're never going to make another popcorn Sonic machine, you know?
We'll get references to
There
it in
was-
Mania. That's about it, I think.
I'm fine
Um,
with it too. Yeah.
That's not the final crossover that was teased as well. There was also the Sonic Minecraft crossover that was briefly teased.
Yeah, the three frames of Minecraft.
The 3 frames of a Sonic face
yeah,
of
yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
we
we'll
have-
get Minecraft.
We have another $5 super chat from AKA Shodin or Aka Shodin, I don't know. There's Sonic characters on the ticket booths of Club Sega in Yakuza, and even music from Sonic 06. I was embarrassingly excited about that. That's interesting.
No, you play Yakuza. I mean, they're good games, and they also take care of Sega history in ways that other games just can't. It's a fascinating series, and one I'm very excited to jump into. So I personally hope my audience allows that, because usually when I jump off of Sonic, I get punished pretty severely.
So what you do is you just like you make the thumbnail have the Sonic arcade machine. You like do everything to make it aesthetically look like a Sonic episode. That you're just like, nope, guys, talking about Yakuza today.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm noticing in the chat, though, and I actually wanted to say this. Game Apologist is so cool. I certainly am. Thank you, DBZ Den Shenlong.
That's a shit take if you ever ask me.
Anyway, somebody about the Minecraft stuff, because that is actually a huge deal. I mean, Minecraft is the best-selling game ever, like literally ever. I'm just not a big player, so I don't talk about it a whole lot. But I'm gonna download whatever it is, because I got the Jurassic World Minecraft stuff. I love Jurassic Park, so I'm gonna show my support there too. But somebody noticed this, and I don't think I noticed it while I was streaming it, but they said somebody actually had to build pixel art of S3 in Minecraft. So were we seeing S3 Sonic in that teaser?
Hold on, let's see. Well, I say hold on, like don't hold on. I'm just looking up an image real quick.
So that's
I don't know how you would tell if it's S3 Sonic, specifically from the teaser.
They're screaming it's S3 Sonic. If that's the case, excellent. I'm about it. That might be telling for some things in the future. But we're gonna get to that in a second here. So that's all the cameo stuff. What was next? Do you guys remember?
Next, there was the teasers of the collections. So, yeah, so they did that. Then they did Sonic Prime, and then so let's go straight in with the first one that was announced, which was Sonic Colors Ultimate.
And it
Boy,
looks
oh
like it's
boy.
a 1-to-1 remake.
Yep.
So it's
Is it even a remake? It just looks like a port. Like,
well,
I thought they
remaster.
would
Remaster.
like maybe change Sonic's model to like the Unleashed or Forces one or something. But nope, it's straight up the same, just with a kind of a new lighting engine. There's no teasers of any actual changes to the game.
Well, yeah, that's
So
functionally what a remaster does generally. So that's about what we expected.
no, but is it even remastered? It doesn't
Yep.
really look any different.
No.
That's how
It's not.
It literally.
I have some information here.
Okay.
If you guys would like it. Okay, so a couple things I was looking up for, because I was waiting for as soon as this was officially announced, because I know a lot of us in the fandom were talking about like why colors, why bother with colors, why this, why that, why this. I've been waiting for the mainstream gaming press to drop this stuff, because this usually is like prepped and ready to go the instant this stuff is actually announced. And I can tell you right now, The Verge, like this is their headline. Sonic Colors is getting remastered as Sega announces a new handful of games. One of the most beloved Sonic the Hedgehog games is making a return.
That's about to change when people replay it and realize that the level design is horrible.
It's your dramatic thing. But that's the general consensus of the wider gaming press is like this is one of the better Sonic games.
Yep.
And you've seen that article after article after article. But they do give us a little bit of information here. This is not being produced in-house by Sonic Team. This is being put together by Blind Squirrel Games. This studio put together BioShock the Collection and Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So they might be going in and tweaking things, but I mean, if you've played their stuff before, they don't actually go in and bring in new levels or anything like that. This will be a one-for-one remake of the game.
And that's generally what you get with.
Oh, hang on. No, hang on.
Okay.
It says there's going to be upscaled visuals, a new game mode, which is interesting, refined controls, and other upgrades.
I'm gonna need all of that back. I'm gonna need them to double down on all of that in order to justify purchasing it, because a little baby Sonic keyring is not gonna do it for me if what we're essentially getting is Dolphin emulator in a box.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I trust Blind Squirrel. The BioShock collection is well put together, legendary collection or edition, whatever. I haven't played it yet, and I think some of the coloration changes are a big sticking point. But from what I'm hearing, it's a pretty solid. Whatever the fuck I'm saying, collection of games. But yeah, I did notice that too, Pup, and I was a little dumbfounded because that Baby Sonic is not the finalized Baby Sonic. That looks like leftover crap from the initial run of product they were probably going to go and put out through there. Like everything about this package tells me like we are just trying to put together everything we have left and give it to you guys so you'll shut up while we keep working on things.
Yep. The thing that has me slightly worried about though is what I think is going to happen with the gaming journos surrounding Sonic Colors Ultimate is that Sonic Colors was very popular partly because it pushed the limits of the Wii system and Sonic's gameplay was. Yeah, it was nerfed, but it was nerfed in a way that was very suitable for Wii control units and stuff. And I think when people pick that game up on things like a PlayStation and stuff like that, it's going to suffer because they're going to realize these level designs that were fit for a Wii game are a bit lackluster now. And I'm worried that all of the gaming journos are now going to be saying, oh, maybe Sonic in 3D was never good in the first place or something like that. And
no, it's still going to be just the hardcore Sonic fan base being dramatic. No, it's a competent game. Regardless of what your personal feelings are, it's a mostly competent game. And yes, all this is subjective for each one of us. And I don't disagree with some of your critique like you put out there the other day on your video, which you guys should go watch.
Thanks, man.
But I'm not as harsh, like purely gameplay wise. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not that harsh on Forces and pure gameplay. It just should have been more after all this time. I think it's going to do okay, but I don't think it's going to do much better than okay. I think it's going to get like another. It's going to be in the 7 range, like high 7 range probably for most gaming journos.
Most gaming journos gave Sonic just like an 8 out of 10 anyway, with like the extra boost being this looks so good for the Wii. So like, I mean, that's not going to be much different than what it was back then.
Yeah,
no, because I think people might look back on it a bit differently in today's perspective, as well as the fact that I've stated that Colors was exactly what people were asking for back in 2010. Mm-hmm. I don't think it meets the needs of a 2020 audience, but I might be wrong. What I think is either going to happen is the gaming journos will play it all over again and realize it's actually not great from a level design perspective, and that things might have been remembered a bit differently and the landscape has changed for Sonic, and then they'll declare that Sonic was never good, or they will literally not even play the game and suck its dick. And that's what I'm concerned is going to happen either way.
Always the extremes with you.
Yeah, I don't think any of those things are going to happen.
No, I don't think anything's going to happen.
I'm sorry, but like the majority of Sonic Colors is stand on a button and wait for platforms to move, and that just isn't good.
Not really.
It might be a competently programmed game for as far as Sonic's controls are, but that level design is just bad in some areas.
I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's what we want from Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm not disagreeing on that front, but I think it's a competent game. I think it's well put together, and I think it's well remembered. But if you're not like a hardcore Sonic fan wanting specific things and eagerly looking forward to the next experience with the Hedgehog, I think a lot of people are going to play this and be like, yeah, it's okay. It's inoffensive, very colorful, kind of charming, a little corny. It's whatever. And I think that's how most people are going to take it. Ironically enough, the people that are going to be the most negative about it is going to be the hardcore Sonic fan base, as per usual. And I don't think that's going to change.
Some random guy donates £5 and says Jade Wisp from the Team Sonic Racing is in the trailer. Disappointed in the exclusivity for Epic Games though. Okay, I didn't even notice the Jade Wisp, if I'm being honest.
From
So maybe I
TSR's
need
in
to
the
go back
trailer.
I need to give it
Interesting.
a second look, I think. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, I think what I needed to really seal the deal was for them to say we've reworked some of these level designs and really added some additional 3D levels to it or something like that.
The only
But
people
it's
who
like-
the only people who desperately ask for that though generally are hardcore Sonic fans. Most of the people who
the
are
thing
just
that's
casual
interesting
fans of
is
Sonic were fine
I
with
had
it.
people raise the point with me that Sega originally intended for it to be 3 acts and a boss fight, which makes sense. And then like the additional levels that they added in for padding were just quick one and done things that were like, okay, we gotta get some levels done. Okay, here's one devoted to a spring, here's one devoted to the rings of a planet and stuff like that. I thought, maybe if Sega had more time to rework those levels, but as you say, it's not being handled by Sonic Team, so like I guess it was maybe too much to expect that they'd go back to the drawing board for some of the levels that they definitely did rush. And like, I'm sorry, but replay Sonic Colors. You'll see what I mean.
I mean, I played it as an adult, and I'll play it again as an adult. I got bored in spots and loved other spots. I think I'm going to be whatever about it either way. But yeah, it's a very inoffensive release at the end of the day. Like when it comes right down to it, I'm looking forward to it for what it is. But I'm interested. I didn't know the Jade Wisp was in there, and it's been long enough that I don't remember every single one of those stupid little ghost babies. So I'm curious to see if they do anything different. I don't think that'd be too hard to implement. I don't disagree with your critiques, Pup. I should just say I'm just not as harsh on it, I suppose. I don't like
that why gaming makes is what if they took the levels in colors and smashed them into one stage per planet? I wouldn't say one stage per planet, but if they were to say, okay, there's 4 acts and they were to combine some of those stages
combine
together,
a lot
you'd
of the
have
single
much...
gimmick levels into one level, that would probably help
Yeah,
a
because
lot.
as like one of the things I said was there are gimmicks in there that it's like, that could be a fun gimmick as part of a stage, but it doesn't work as the entire thing. If you were to smash some of those stages together, you could get some really interesting Sonic level designs.
Yeah, and I can agree with that because there's there's set pieces in old school Sonic levels, especially 2D ones, where there's a central gimmick you're having to work around that like it appears, it reappears. Think the poles that you're grabbing in Hydrocity Zone. Think the top, the spinning top that you're having to run on Angel Island. Like think about stuff like that. Colors does that. It just decides to devote
for the entire level.
Yeah, it decides to devote
it's like
entire
what I was
levels
saying,
to
yeah,
that.
about the rotating platforms in Scrap Brain. If there was like Scrap Brain Act 5 and it's nothing but that, you don't want that. That's just not fun. Yeah, no, I forgot what I was going to say.
No, it's
but
all
like,
good.
yeah, if you mash level ideas up together, I think one thing they could do to remedy that would be if they mandated less completion. So I know Sonic Colors is already a short game, but I'd rather have something that's shorter and sweeter. If they said, okay, to complete the game, you only have to do a handful of stages, not all 7 acts.
Problem is,
And then
though,
the rest is bonus.
There would have to be some indicator as to what those individual acts would be, because as it stands, The individual acts are just labeled Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. If you are a new Sonic Colors player, or even an old one who's just revisiting, you don't know what Act 3 means. You don't know if that's going to be I'm running around on a ring, or if this is going to be a collect 100 rings type of level. You don't know that going in. So, like, I agree with you, but at the same time, I think that they would need to change the naming structure and everything for those levels in order to make that even worthwhile. Because if you only know the level numbers, then being able to choose which level you can go into, it gives you no help whatsoever.
Yeah, I understand that.
I don't think there's enough bad about the game that they need to really do that much severely different. As tedious as some of the stuff is for some of us. I do think they'll tweak some stuff here and there, but I mean, ultimately, we got to think about what is the point of this project. And like I said, I think it's there to placate fans, bring back some goodwill, remind folks that, you know, we can make decent Sonic games. And it's just there to just kind of remind people that Sonic is there and he exists. And here's all this extra shit that we couldn't put out for the movie.
And if they were going to choose any game to redo that isn't already available on multiple platforms, Colors was the one to pick. As much as I prefer Unleashed, Colors was the one to pick out of the set.
I mean, I would say Colors simply on the basis that it is considered a mainline Sonic game, yet it was a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, like, it's if the choice effectively would have to be between Colors and Unleashed, because Forces and Generations are readily available on a lot of platforms. Between Colors and Unleashed, the one that's going to give people the most, like, casual audiences, not hardcore Sonic fans, casual audiences, the one that's going to give them the absolute best press is going to be the one that has been consistently lauded through its lifetime.
Yeah, I understand that. I do understand that.
I'm gonna buy it.
I
I'm
had
sick and tired
really
of talking about that.
I had like low expectations for the thing, but I thought they would at least, you know, have like the Generations of character model or something like that. You know, a bit more of a visual overhaul than what they've got.
They wouldn't do that for a remaster being held by a team that's outside of Sega.
Yeah, I get that. I get that fully. Bad Dragonite donates $2 and says the furries are taking over Tokyo. Oh, good for them.
Good.
So, what they did before doing the next collection was they announced the Sonic Colors 2-episode animation, which was announced by Roger Craig Smith. What do you guys think about that?
I think
I saw that and I was just cause fucking more Wisps. Okay.
I don't mind the Wisps, honestly. I really don't. The thing that I didn't like, I'm gonna be honest, the art style for it looked really weird. At the same time, it looks really unique. It looks like really unique Flash animation almost. But something about that art style just it doesn't look in motion. Everything looks like a still image.
Yeah, I mean it looks like mid or like early to mid 2000s Flash animation. It does not look like an expensive project whatsoever. Art's beautiful. I don't know how to do any of that. I gotta admit, it was nice hearing Roger's voice, as corny as those lines were. But it did make me think, like, man, I kind of wish all this new concept would just be in Colors Remaster, because I'd love to have a Metal Sonic race in that game.
When he first announced Rise of the Wisps, I thought it was going to be like a Bowser's Fury kind of thing. I was like, okay, that would get me.
That would have been fucking great.
Additional episode, but yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
it's an animation. But I really like the look of the animation. I'm going to say that right now. And the concept, okay, we're really rubbing ourselves off to Sonic Colors here, but okay, why not? But I was like, okay, what's this going to bring to the table? And I was like, oh, okay, Metal Sonic's in it. Okay, we're starting to really rely too much on Metal Sonic lately.
Always
I don't
rely
know.
on them. Always bring them back.
I
love them.
I'm so ready for a game without Metal Sonic now.
I'd like a
Because
game
he feels like an event status villain that's just become a staple at this point. It's like what was once a meatball has become pasta.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that with Metal, because the original narrative with Metal Sonic was that this was Eggman's greatest creation to try to deal with Sonic, fight fire with fire. And then the concept just kind of like the concept evolved a little bit in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then it just kind of stopped. Like we stopped seeing Metal Sonic until we got like in actual gameplay. We stopped seeing it until Heroes. And then the entire idea that Eggman has Metal Sonic as this thing in his back pocket to deal with Sonic at any point, despite its track record. Like it's the little boy he's super proud of. Like that idea has not really been like a lot of stuff hasn't been really done with that since say Rivals, until we started getting more Metal Sonic stuff in recent
But it's
years.
just they never do anything with him now. He comes in and it's like, well, the fans can just be like, oh, it's Sonic, and that's it. And it's like, I don't know. We do have though another super chat. This time $2 from Junkyard Productions. Nice monkey profile pic. Says, side note, unleashed PS2 on Hedgehog Engine 1 or 2 maybe. I'd be game. Like I was saying to Suris in a previous live stream. I think it would be great if they did do a Sonic Unleashed remaster, which brought in level designs from Sonic Unleashed Wii as bonus levels. I would be so game for that. But, critics very vehemently said that Sonic Unleashed was bad and Colors was good, so what we're dealing with, okay? I get it. You got no standards. I get it.
And I think characters like Metal just kind of existing within the narrative and not a lot having to be done with them is fine. Honestly, they've had their arc.
I'm fine with it.
Like
the robot.
Metal's had his arc. And if you played Sonic Rivals, Metal's arc literally ended in Heroes because one of the stories in Rivals is Eggman stripped Metal of a lot of his of his personality so that he would never rebel on him ever again. Like he functionally can't really have much of an arc again outside of say, what's been done with him in IDW. He's not going to be able to have that many arcs.
But like, how do you feel then about them constantly digging up Shadow just for him to be an edgelord?
So hang on, everyone, chill for a second. Joshua Star won't stop about this. Metal is in Colors Ultimate. Where do you see that? I'm not seeing that anywhere.
Aki Dave also sends $1.99 and says, "What if a meatball became a chicken nugget?" I mean.
What was a meatball became a chicken nugget? I'm fine with that though. Chicken nuggets are great.
I'm fine with that. Like I grew up with
that's at least the same genre of food. But if a meatball becomes the pasta, it just becomes a staple food. The pasta is not when you buy a pasta, the noodles are not what you're there for. You're there for the bolognese, And the pasta is a staple within that. It's like if like I say,
I think you're dying on the hill of an analogy.
Metal Sonic was formerly the meat in the burger, but now he's just bread.
Yeah, that's how staples work. I don't care. He used to exist on a side game that nobody had the system for, and then again in another side game. Like that's what I grew up with.
For me,
and he finally showed back up in a video game. Like I grew up with like Metal Sonic's iconic first appearance on the Sega CD, and that's all we had. And then like Chaotix, and that was all we had. And then a cameo in Adventures, and then he got this crazy upgrade in Heroes, and then you couldn't even fight him. You had to fight this weird, goofy mess of a dragon. And he finally showed back up, and I never want him to leave. That's the problem with the cast right now, is they don't utilize them.
Something that
I don't know why we're still on this point. Like let's carry on.
I need to get this out here though. It's a new idea. This is a constructive criticism here, right?
That's new.
The obvious thing to do with Metal Sonic for me to make me excited about this character again is have Roger Craig Smith voice him and give him like a robotic take on Sonic's personality.
No.
There's
no.
He's supposed to be.
He's not supposed to. The only time he's
Sonic
supposed to talk is in Neo.
No.
That's actually in canon.
It's horrible.
He's supposed to be. No, he's supposed to be.
No, he's not supposed to be.
Evil parallel to Sonic, right? He's meant
silent
to be Sonic.
And scary. A loudmouth, jabbermouth hedgehog, and this silent, scary version of him. Absolutely not. No, absolutely no.
Scary version we've had for way too long. We've had him for over 25 years.
And
give us a fucking Give us the anti-Sonic. Give us Sonic's
Absolutely
Bizarro.
not.
Give
No.
us someone that talks like Sonic, acts like Sonic, is as fast as Sonic, has his speed and powers,
Cool.
and is
You
basically
want
Sonic's
you
duplicate,
want
but fights for
Scourge.
the opposite side.
You want Scourge
Emster
then.
Scourge
2000s
is
asking
shit.
Nick versus Pup on Metal Sonic win? Now. Absolutely not. You're out of your mind.
Your
He is
characters
so
become
perfect the way
stale
he
and
is.
boring,
He's
and
silent
you're
and
just
scary, and that's
putting
how he
Metal
works.
Sonic in a box and saying he's got to be this when he's been this for too long and has gone stale.
He's not saying he has
No.
to be this. The
He's-
argument is
he's not just a noodle. He's a noodle that's gone hard, and I no longer want to eat it.
okay. Well, my hard noodle says that we should keep Metal Sonic the way he is.
I am fine with him being quiet, as he should be, because he's scary and
Anime
silent and
sends
creepy.
$4.99 and says no.
No,
Yeah, no,
that's our
Nick.
argument.
Met my boy.
The argument is just no. I'll say this. There is a moment in IDW that I think really encapsulates this whole thing. There's a moment where Sonic directly criticizes Metal for not being able to quip to him. Because when Metal's
you think Eggman would kind of change that, wouldn't you?
No,
think he'd
no,
upgrade it?
I don't, because he doesn't have a reason to. Like, what reason? Eggman has robots that can sass him back all day. He has no reason to have that with Metal. Metal is literally just a war machine. That's the only thing Metal's supposed to be. That's the only thing he's supposed to do.
He's also supposed to be a duplicate replicated on Sonic's data. He's a
Yeah.
robotic Sonic replica. You'd think he would, have the instinct that drives Sonic towards his survival. That'd be kind of a
No.
smart idea, you'd think. Reginald
No.
Dudley sends in $5 and says, in the Colors Ultimate trailer, Sonic has gold shoes and gold gloves. Does this mean we'll get customization? I didn't see that.
That was near the end there. We do need to get back on point here, though, guys. Let's
Okay,
wrap this
so-
up.
The next thing was the collection.
Well, before we leave colors, they did mention this stuff here. Like, I do want to talk about Dudley's post here, and I think we might miss another super. No, we didn't. It was the no.
It was the no.
Gold shoes and gloves. Yeah, that was part of like the pre-order package, wasn't it? At the end there.
I actually don't know.
Sonic EA 2, I keep seeing you in the chat. Shut up. I don't care. I'm reading. I don't need to respond to everything. But thanks for being here. but I mean, that's a good point. Like, what if like it's like more cosmetic stuff like that, like as far as customization is concerned.
That guy Flaming actually did say we did miss their super chat. And their super chat was pulled from the Game Informer article. In the brand new Rival Rush mode for Sonic Colors, Sonic goes head to head with Metal Sonic. So apparently Metal
How
Sonic
did we miss that?
Metal Sonic is, at least according to Game Informer, going to be in the Colors remaster.
How many of these articles are actually correct, though? Like, are there any of these that are inaccurate?
It might be. I don't
mean,
think we have all the
allegedly
information yet.
Allegedly, there's a new game mode. I feel like they would put that in the trailer. That's
Well,
kind of
no.
No, not
I
necessarily.
think. Well, here's what I'm thinking right now, and this is what I was talking about yesterday with you guys. I think this is the start of things. I think for right now, concerning how little we saw for the next Sonic game, what we're going to see at Summer of Games is going to be more Sonic Colors. Throughout E3 and other things, I think we're going to get more of that port more than anything else, because that's really all they have to show off right now. So I think we'll see a little bit more of what they're offering, but I really don't think it's going to be too much deeper than what we've seen for Mania Plus. I think they're going to be going with that particular frame, which is going to change some stuff up, and it's going to be substantial, but not that substantial. Like it's going to be what that $5 business was worth for Plus, which was, hey, this is nice, it's cool, that's here. Ultimately, it doesn't really change the core of the game, though. So that's my thoughts on that.
And that makes, but that's what you expect in a remaster over a remake, though. You expect the core to be kept as intact as possible, with whatever extra stuff thrown in that you can justify.
I think it would be good if they did like the option of playing as Shadow in it or something like that.
I
Yeah.
would not disagree with that.
I'd
love to bring Metal in there too. I mean, if
Movie Sonic,
a lot of that,
Sonic.
and a lot of that would
Right, yeah.
and a lot of that would
Classic Sonic.
effectively only require reskinning the characters. Like, you don't have to change much about their physics for them to work that way. That's a very small implementation, and I'd like that.
Hollow, when they say they did explicitly say that they have more to show us going forward, I think that's in terms of new projects, though. I don't, and like I think we will see more of the Sonic Colors Ultimate Remaster as time goes by. But I think what they meant there is that there's new projects to show us.
I don't disagree with that either. I think I'm more talking about like the immediate future because we have Summer of Games and E3 all within the next couple weeks here.
Yeah. So shall we talk a bit about?
Yes, because I'm
Yeah.
very excited and very disappointed. So,
First of all, this is a much smaller collection than previous Sonic collections have been. And it is kind of a thing lately of Sega does tend to downgrade when they do new versions of things these days.
Imagine being a kid and getting Sonic Mega Collection and being super excited for all the content packed on that disc. And now you're an adult and this version of the Sonic Collection is coming out. You're like, wait, hold on, but that's smaller than the last one.
Yeah, like they could have, I don't know, but yeah, way smaller. Like I literally joked and said that Sega wouldn't be ambitious enough to do something a bit more ambitious than just a classic collection. But again, they've just downgraded it. Like it's one thing for it to only be as good as the last one. It's another thing for it to be worse. But what I will say is, widescreen Sonic 1, 2, and CD, great, which makes it all the more fucking glaring that they've done nothing to Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
well, let's
Wait,
talk
what?
about that for a second. Yeah, so in the trailer, they showed just standard 4:3 ratio for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But this was also, if you guys noticed, like this was like very like kind of mishmash in terms of a trailer. We didn't get a cover or anything. We
Yeah, it was
just got the
cobbled.
covers of the old games. And then they just quickly showed it and like, oh, by the way, this will be showing up next year. I'm like, why? It's a collection of ROMs. What is
Wait,
going on there?
next year?
Yeah, which
it's
leads
next
me
year.
which leads me to believe
Yeah.
here's what we've got that's happening. Sega, in putting together this announcement, decided potentially 2 or 3 weeks ago to get everything together to make this announcement work, which would require cobbling together footage of stuff they already have. They've got Whitehead ports of Sonic, 2 and CD. They can easily work within those and get footage from those. They only have the modern ROM editions of Sonic 3 and Knuckles to work with, so they're going to have to grab footage from that. If they cobble all that together for the trailer and say, look, this is a thing we're doing, because it doesn't take long to build a trailer like that, but then announce that it's going to be coming out in a year, that reads to me as they started working on this project a few weeks ago. They put an announcement trailer together for it real quick so that they'd have something for this presentation. But with a year of development available, I see no reason why we would not be getting an actual widescreen version of SN3K. And because they even announced that there's going to be new
Hold
stuff
on.
added in.
Hold on, we're getting a bunch of comments coming from all sorts of people saying that Katie, whoever that is, I'm guessing that's a Sega person.
She's one of the she leads Sonic Twitter. Yeah.
She has stated that Sonic 3 and Knuckles will be in widescreen.
Which
Yeah, no surprise there.
Which is why I was
No,
pointing
I mean,
out that
so
they
okay. Yeah.
which is why I was pointing out that if this is a project that started production just recently and they haven't built
like
the
you said.
widescreen for it yet, then it would make sense that this would be, it wouldn't be in the trailer, but with a year's worth of development time, there's no reason they wouldn't do it, and there's evidence of that right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little bit more reassured there. I'm hoping that they're also adding additional games to it because I do think it's kind of lame if it is just that selection and not,
If they
going as big as previous ones.
if they go into this the way that they built like the Master Chief Collection, not they as a separate company completely, but the logic behind say the Master Chief Collection for Halo was there's 2 or 3 games on this collection now, and then over time more stuff gets released for it and it gets integrated into the collection. There's, with that being a standard that already exists, there's no reason that couldn't happen again, but with Sonic. But we also might need to let Nick actually speak about classic Sonic now.
Yeah, so I think the ultimate point of showing it off right now before anything else was the confirmation that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is back. Regardless of anything else, that is the important thing. That is so incredibly important because that is telling us that Sega is going out of their ways to take care of this stuff, to take care of this legacy, to take care of the best game they've ever made. At me all you want. I will literally fight everybody on it. I've done videos on it. I'm ready to back that shit up. But that's so super important to me, and I was a little taken aback by how whatever they were about it, but they distinctly said Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and that means Hypersonic is going to be in an official re-release of some point, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't like how little we have in terms of content, but again, we don't know everything about it yet. Like Suris said, and I immediately got that like cobbled together stink from it. But if it is the Whitehead ports, this means they're putting together the very best versions of these games, and I think that would be fine for Sega to say we're going to justify this collection with just these 4 games because we put this much effort into sprucing them up as much as we have, and you don't have to buy them separately, which I'm fine with. I'm still holding out hope like we'll get unlockable stuff. I would very, very, very much like official re-release of Knuckles Chaotix, and the Master System versions of games. And I want behind the scenes stuff. I want to see Mecha Sonic in artwork. I want all these things that we've always wanted to see from these games. Tell us a little bit more about the beta. It's dropped online. Like, give us behind the scenes stuff. Like, if you're going to re-release these games again, I'm happy with the best versions of them. I'm going to buy it anyway because I'm celebrating, like, deeply, deeply excited that this is finally happening. But do more. Don't stop there. Do more.
I can agree with that.
So, yeah. Greedy Nick.
I mean, but
Also,
but it's
we've got both Chow Mix and the horrible Tom Topics in the chat.
Oh, excellent. Welcome, guys. Good to have you. Hypersonic does matter. You're damn right he does. And now I have a couple of new things to say before I put out that super edit of that game.
Yep, and they literally cut Hypersonic out of it.
just imagine that they do that, and Nick's just like, but I thought Hypersonic mattered.
Nick just has the offended Pikachu face on while he's playing it.
I think that would be hilarious.
That's funny. Why Hypersonic returns? You're damn right, 2001. You're goddamn right. This is a year of the shiny hedgehog. So yeah. You guys are right though. Like Pup, you nailed it. Like alarmingly to the point. Like it's probably just going to be the classics.
I have to tell you now. I work with Sonic Team, and I do fucking hate Sonic, and I'm just trying to make it as underwhelming as possible.
My dad works at Sega, guys.
So the next announcement we got was regarding Sonic Prime, where we learned absolutely fuck all new other than that.
Yep.
Dr. Robotnik is indeed gonna be in the series, guys. Big surprise.
Well,
guys,
I think
the series will have Sonic. This is news.
Well, I mean, I also mentioned this, and I hate to say it, I think we're getting closer and closer to it, which was they mentioned a lot of stuff. They're like, oh, he's in the Shatterverse, and he's gonna have to do this or that and the other. I think it's gonna be completely disconnected from the game stuff. Not so much in the fact that it's not like gonna be Boom or anything, but it's gonna be like another goofy Sonic adventure that is removed enough that it doesn't contradict anything else they're doing.
Oh yeah, but you'd be a fool to expect anything else. I'm gonna be real there. Like it's set in the game's universe, but it's not canon to the games. It's just the games are canon to the show.
There was one thing that was said during that part of the presentation that I wouldn't say it confused me. It just more made me feel like this is super filler. And he was like, "It's going to be a story about redemption. It's going to be a story about struggle." And I'm just like, "Wait, hold on. If this is a Sonic story, who's getting redeemed?"
Sonic is getting redeemed.
This sounds like
no, but
just
he says that
filler
Sonic
shit.
is going. He says that Sonic is going on an adventure of self-discovery and redemption. It's like, what is Sonic going to do? What crimes will he commit?
You know what? I'm going to tell you guys this. Here's my theory. I think I caused Sonic Prime.
Oh,
Sonic is getting the black suit confirmed.
You know what I thought? I just kind of bitterly thought. I was like, am I seriously going to sit through my first Sonic stream with my audience, the first time I have an audience, and they're going to mention Ben 10? Yeah. Yeah, they are. And I started thinking to myself very arrogantly, very, very arrogantly, Like, what if they saw my video? They're like, look at this Ben 10 piece of garbage right here. Hey, I wonder if those guys are working on anything. Let's give them a call.
And then, suddenly, without warning, Action Man Studios, you rang?
Yeah.
Man of Action Studios, for fuck's sake, Suris. We've got more super chats. We've got
We
Matt
do.
Dragonite in with $2
Super-
saying Super Hedgehog God Supersonic. I don't know what I'll do with that, but thank you. That's
Dragon.
awesome.
That's Dragon Ball Z.
Super reference. And attaboy,
okay.
Dragonite.
And our pal Jamal says, I can't wait, Hypersonic, Hyper Knuckles, and Turbo Tails.
Turbo Tails.
That's an awesome name, actually. That's an epic
That's-
name, Turbo Tails.
That's
I love it.
Archie. It's Archie. They that's his super form in Archie. He literally gets a cape.
He gets a
It's
cape. That's
That's
crazy.
so,
does.
that's so cute.
Now that I do need to find out about. Okay. What was next? Okay, there was one other lame thing, wasn't there?
So there was a thing at the end that confused me because so the Sonic Rush, like we got a bunch of stuff about the mobile games at the end, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
literally
because-
forgot that happened.
Oh no,
Yes.
there is a good thing. There is a good thing.
Okay.
Which was the thing I joked in the video and said, isn't it crazy how with all this is the one thing I'm most excited about so far? And that is that in Sonic Forces Speed Battle and Sonic Dash, the Werehog is coming in Halloween.
Yep.
and-
Yeah.
I was just happy to see my boy get represented, some Unleashed representation, because it goddamn deserves it. It is the best Sonic game. I'm ready to fight you on that, Nick.
I'm gonna be honest though, when that happened, when they were doing the reveal of the PNG of the Werehog, when they did that, my brain just went, this is just a crap on the Unleashed fans. This is them literally going, look, we entirely remade Sonic Colors, but for the Unleashed fans, here's your fucking PNG.
No, man. No, not at all. I'm
Cute.
the fact that it's here is again, it's signs that like we're gonna open up a little bit. We're gonna start celebrating our history a little bit more, and that's a good start, I think. And
There's,
hopefully this colors and everything else means, Unleashed will see the light of day. It's a playable on Series X. Which that's kind of leaning me towards that system over the PS5 because I'd love to experience that game, going full blast finally.
There's also more things coming. There's obviously Pirate Sonic and Shadow, which I cannot
already
get
here.
excited
They
about.
It's
just want
already
each other.
here.
They just want each other's booty, and that's all we're here for. It's okay.
And then there
There's
was also
so much fan art of those two banging
Super
out.
Sonic.
I know.
There's also Super Sonic coming to Sonic Forces Speed Battle, so you could effectively just cheese the game that way, I'm sure.
And that's
I didn't know he
But
wasn't
hey,
there.
it took this Sonic Forces longer to get Super Sonic than the original one. There's gonna be a new record.
Damn.
I'm gonna be honest though. So I've played Sonic Forces Speed Battle, and its build is like a multiplayer competitive racer on a mobile device. So how competitive can you really
It's
be?
a solid game. I've got it.
It is, but I think that the confusing thing is that they're going to effectively allow a power up for only people playing Sonic. 'Cause you can play as a lot of Sonic characters in that game. But if they're going to allow a power-up in there that lets you cheese against other people, one of the great things about that game, being able to play as a shit ton of Sonic characters, like, that kind of goes out the window if the I win button is just playing any form of
I
Sonic.
think there will be... I don't think it's a power-up for main Sonic. I think it's going to be his own individual character, and he'll have some kind of limitation. Like, maybe you can only play him at a certain time or something, like...
If that's the
There'll be
case, though,
some
that
kind of
makes it
restriction.
even worse, though. Like, now we have, instead of various forms of Sonic that exist in this game that can take supersonic form, now we've just got the supersonic playable character, which I guess if you don't have through their gotcha system, then I guess you're screwed. I mean, at the end of the
Well, what
day,
I'm
I'm getting
saying
mad
is-
about a mobile game.
It might be that you
I
tune into the mobile game and it says you've got one chance to play Supersonic today at 4:30, and it's like you tune in 4:30, you get Supersonic, win a race, and then maybe you can't play him anymore until like you get your next opportunity. I think that's the smartest way if they're going to have this big multiplayer racing experience.
I can't begin to give a shit. It's going to be a skin. I think you're just overthinking it, honestly.
It's not not just a skin. They literally showed that it has
He has
extra powers
abilities.
over the other characters.
That's
That
how
was it.
you can tell I just completely phased out on
Yeah,
on that.
like
front there.
it was in the actual trailer that happened. That's why I'm just like, I feel like that would be like playing Mario Kart, and they just said, okay, guys, look, you get the chance to play as Super Cat Mario from Bowser's Fury in Mario Kart. Now, if you choose to play as this character, you run 5 times as fast as every other character on the track. Now,
Can we?
I just
Can
want
we
to move on. I
quickly-
can't give a shit. I don't
Can
care.
we quickly congratulate Aki Dave on passing all of his classes this semester?
Congrats, Dave.
You did,
Glad to hear it,
Dave.
man.
Good job,
Um,
man, you nerd. God, imagine studying.
Zanju,
Imagine.
Mom said it's my turn with the supersonic.
The next thing was.
So no, before we move on, I did
thought
make
you wanted
something
to
else
move on.
happen. No, I made
Okay.
something happen. I'm gonna take full credit for this as well.
Oh my
So like 2 years ago, I made like a top 5 characters I wanted in Team Sonic Racing, and I knew it was like outlandish and out there because they were just showing the modern characters. I was like, if they brought back classic Sonic, bring him back in the Game Gear car. Why the hell not? And now they are on the Apple
Oh yeah, there's that
game.
game there. That's quite cool actually, and I like the fact that he's got his own stage. But I'm gonna say this: really, not like a DLC for the console version.
No, that's not making no money, dude. They're just sticking with Apple. I get it.
Okay, fair
Which
enough.
it's whatever. It's fine.
I don't have an
Um,
iPhone, and I would really like to play that.
What was after all this?
Yes, it's the grand finale.
Well, we had one more thing.
the-
They did a. They said that Forces and something else were coming onto to later consoles as well.
Oh yeah, there's also another like an Amazon console that I've only just now heard of. that-
Luna. Yeah, it's streaming. Think of a Stadia, except I
And
guess it
that
works okay.
Also, Sonic Forces, Sonic Mania, and Sonic Racing are coming to PlayStation now, but
Yeah.
why the fuck would you ever want to do that? Because PlayStation Now doesn't play good. Even on good internet, there's still a slight delay. And you can literally get those games on the PlayStation for cheap anyway. So just why would
Because
you
it's
want that?
money contracts. They're not thinking about any of that. They're like, hey, Sony's gonna give you money to host their games. Okay, cool.
Like it's the same
I
thing. Like
guess,
why
I
would
mean-
you watch this on 480p Netflix when you could just buy the DVD for cheap? Like it's the same argument. There's contracts.
I mean,
that are
I
gonna
guess
have in
it's
the
also the
background.
whole thing of like maybe people that don't own those games but have an existing PlayStation Now contract will be happy to. know
Or
they
there can
play.
be people who don't have a PlayStation but have PlayStation Now because it runs on PC.
As it stands,
Before
I don't care.
yeah, but before we move on to the final trailer, which I'm sure is going to take up the largest chunk here for us with
Is it, though?
speculation. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But let's talk merch real quick because I have a couple theories in terms of long-term advertisements and stuff like that. Did anything from the merch stand out from you guys? I'm including the Eggman or the Death Egg battle playset from Jax. The bling, the bling they had of Sonic.
For those who are tuned into hip hop culture,
It's
I
cute.
literally love the wording of that.
that just reminded
Why-
me of the Spider-Man Miles Morales thing. For those who want to have the swagger of a black teen,
Jesus
that
Christ,
was so weird.
they literally said that?
Yes,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
it's just,
Jeez,
it
that's
just
so gross.
yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Like, why? If you're gonna do jewels, and why aren't there rings and emeralds? For fuck's sake!
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
You know what I fucking mean. This is
because-
Sonic podcast. Of course, the Chaos Emeralds.
Because if that's what
Why?
you're worried about, I've got
Why
one
don't
of them
they have any
right
of
here.
that? We're crying out loud.
So, in terms of the merch stuff, I think the playset looks cool. And I'm looking forward to the encyclopedia. I wonder if anyone's bought that for me by any chance. That would be awesome. And
I don't even know who
as-
you are.
as for a lot of the rest of it, like the coins, I don't really care.
I do.
they-
I love coins. Oh
they're
god, I love
kinda-
coins.
They're kind of neat, but like I'm not like a coin collector. The exaggerated swagger bundle is cool, but like if I wore that, people would laugh at me.
They're keychains, dude. Like that's the thing. Like those exact heads, like those are like in bundles I've gotten from Target, like in little blind boxes. Like they're like hanging up in my toy section of my game room for crying out loud. Like I don't need bling all over that. I'll spend the $5. Thank you very fucking much. Oh.
And that was it for merch, really, wasn't it?
Well, let me talk about the merch real quick. This is why I wanted to bring it up. So we know we're getting the Death Egg robot, right? And we've talked about in the past, like how cool, because we're getting Mecha Sonic, but we're getting S2 Mecha Sonic. But we kind of lamented the fact that we are not getting S3K Mecha Sonic, which is hands down one of the best designs ever.
There's another character I would rather see than fucking Metal Sonic in the Colors cartoon.
Well, I'm gonna, again, we can debate Metal Sonic all day. I think he's the definitive version of a Sonic robot. I like him being where he is. Keep him as relevant as possible. Just make better games. That's all I'm ever going to ask for. That aside, I want Mecha Sonic back. I want to see him in full detail, and I want recognition of S3K. And I want merch from S3K. So I'm probably going to get that Death Egg robot. I'm definitely going to get Mecha Sonic. And I'm hoping next year, because this is like wave, like these are waves we're going to get this fall kind of thing. Wouldn't it be...
Nick, you okay? Well, that was weird. Internet just kind of conked out.
Stuff.
What's the matter,
What?
sir?
What's wrong? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
my
okay.
internet just completely conked for some reason.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
everyone's saying that it's down, but it's popping back up any second now, guys.
Nick died.
Just
killed
go
Nick.
ahead and
Nick.
speak.
took him
It'll
out.
come back in. It'll come back
Okay.
in a bit. Don't worry. Just go ahead and speak.
So, I'm thinking I would like to have Mecha Sonic toy and S3K toys. What if we get like a line of Sonic 3 related merch, closer to the release of Origins? Like I'd imagine that's going to be like the standout of that collection. It's like, hey, we're finally going to get S1 and S2 off of mobile. But Wayne has come for Nick. Can they hear me yet?
They can hear you
I
now.
don't know. I think
chat's
we
not
should-
telling me otherwise, man.
Yeah, but the live stream is always delayed.
There's a delay. It's not in real time, so
If
But
folks
it's been
could
a
let us
few
know,
minutes
though.
now. It's been a few minutes.
Okay. We're all
everybody's
back.
saying
We're
they
back.
can
We're
hear
back.
you. We're good.
We're back.
Okay, I just needed to wait because like 1,000 comments. Nick's dead. Nick's dead. Nick's dead. That's the ultimate point I'm getting at here. Is this is part one of Sonic announcements, and clearly they're not ready to go with everything. Like that was the most apparent thing from this little live stream, which was we needed to put something together to get you guys excited for the anniversary, and going forward we're gonna get more. And I think by the time we finally get Origins, they're gonna probably push more Sonic 3 related merch, because if they finally have that legal stuff sorted out, open the floodgates. Let's get us old farts in on the action. Get us Mecha Sonic toys. Get all that involved. Why the hell not? I'm for it, and I'm hoping beyond hope this means Mecha Sonic and Hypersonic finally get some recognition outside of that game.
Something I was going to say, though, is you're all like, man, I hope Sonic 3 and Knuckles get some recognition. You're getting a whole-ass remaster. Sonic Unleashed fans like me, we got ourselves a werehog in the Sonic Forces mobile game.
You got a PNG. You did it.
Yeah, but I mean, the werehog existed in other media. Werehog's been around, and he's going to be back. I have no doubt in my mind you're going to see more Unleashed stuff. Hypersonic has not existed since 1994.
A fun fact, actually, is in the files for Sonic Generations, they found a little monitor, like a little power-up monitor for Classic Sonic in the Rooftop Run stage. And in the files was one of those little monitors had a werehog emblem on it, which meant that maybe there would be like a little power-up that Classic Sonic could get that would turn him into a classic werehog. I would have loved that. That would have been great.
That would have been neat.
Theories gives us £2. Okay, but what is a Sonic though? We have no idea.
Shut up, Tharies. I hate you. But thanks for your money.
Thank you.
I have
I
no
know,
idea
don't
what a
worry.
Sonic the Hedgehog is. I couldn't begin to tell you.
Bad Dragonite says the Olympic Furry's got Nick's internet. Oh no. The furry
We're,
slander going on in here tonight.
Oh God, Santiago
Santiago
Werehog. No.
Werehog.
God.
Do not fall for his
Well-
lies, everyone.
Oh,
Okay,
$5
another-
from Supersonic 68.
Thank you.
You should have called yourself Supersonic 69. I'm very disappointed. But they send $5 saying in the CG teaser. So we're gonna talk about.
Well, let's talk about it now. In the CG teaser, Sonic runs in a circle. Every other CG teaser had Sonic run down a hallway. Am I just desperate, or is there something there? You're not. The point of showing that was the new gimmick. Whatever it's going to be, that's the new gimmick. Let's just get into it. We've held off on it long enough.
Okay, so something I was going to say is yesterday we had the joke about Suris being like, yes, the new Sonic trailer will have Sonic curl up into a ball and we'll all be applauding it. What we actually got was Sonic runs in
And now-
3D.
Sonic runs in 3D, and all of us are just ah!
Sonic supports deforestation. Oh my god!
I'm really fucking excited to run as Sonic and be blue. It's gonna be great.
Holy shit!
I didn't
Oh my
realize how undersold that joke would be. And
Okay,
then
so
here we
you
are.
know-
God.
You know what I was
God.
saying was, for this presentation to be a pass, there would need to be a trailer for a new 3D Sonic game, and we have one.
Yep.
So that's great. That's great. Okay, I've never been so happy to see Takeshi Iizuka in my entire life. But when he comes and he's like, "I've got to stop you right there, Ivo. There's one more thing." I was like, "Go on, Iizuka.
Do it.
Let us have it. Show us it." And what we got was Sonic runs very fast and is blue the game, and I'm very stoked for it.
Wait, hold on. You're missing
What did
the
I
main.
tell you
you're
we were
missing-
gonna get?
You're missing the
That's
central
exactly what we
mechanic of
got.
that game, pup. There were trees.
Ah, yes. Okay, so Sonic runs and there are also trees. So there was
We've
that strange
never
logo
had
at the end,
trees in a
and
Sonic game, pup.
there
Never.
is that. Listen, there is that strange logo at the end, and the ghost of Nick is not Nick. The ghost of Wayne. Nick's already a fucking ghost. The ghost of Wayne is literally possessing me right now and saying Sonic is running through ancient temples and shit. Very exciting.
It's very cute. So, okay, let's talk about what happens. All right, Sonic's running, and then he starts glowing, and my immediate reaction, I said on the stream, was, oh, fuck, the Wisps are back. This looks like a Wisp power-up to me, but we're not seeing him interact with any Wisps. But we're seeing a lot of sharp angles and little purple squares. It looks technology-based, but, I mean, he runs, the flurry of color, and then the Sonic Team logo shows up. A lot of ancient temples running through the forest. Zips around some trees, and I don't know. Like my immediate reaction was, this is like if he runs around something, he destroys it. Sort of a mechanic. That was what I first assumed.
I have something to add to that, but first we've got a super chat from Adzinko for £2. British. Thank you, Adzinko. He's a very loyal follower of my own. He's one of those guys that can comment on every one of my videos without making it weird, so I really appreciate that.
Every
he
one of
says-
his comments is super weird. I love it.
Yeah, like he's the right kind of weird, you know. He says, "How big will Sonic's feet be in the new game?"
You know,
Well,
asking
I've
for a
got high
friend.
hopes, Adzinko. But like it means nothing if he doesn't at least take off his shoes. So what I was going to say, segueing on from what your point was about potential Wisps, is I don't know if you guys noticed, but before the trailer showed, as it made the transition, and this could just be coincidence, but you do hear the sound of the laser wisp. Now I'm going to say this right now: if it's a wisp, Sega, fucking clean your ears. You're tone deaf, because no more fucking wisps. But like
We're getting a
thing I'm also-
cartoon. Oh god. Oh no. Oh god.
We're getting a
Oh,
cartoon
fuck.
with the Wisps.
No,
that.
we're getting the colors. Why are we getting colors?
the thing I'm just
What if
This
they're
is co-
continuing on the Wisp
This,
stuff?
this is colors
The
too.
thing I want to know is, yeah, this is the thing I'm worried about, is if Sega is looking at Sonic bounces on a moving spring for 10 minutes and thinks, yes, that's the model we're going to base Sonic off of now. It's going to be 90% 2D and the level design is going to fucking suck. Like, please, God, no, let's not do this. But I like to think that because we saw in the Ooh La La Idle Adventure trailer, you see Sonic running with a flurry of electricity effects and stuff. And you see in the middle of that trailer, Sonic's got this blue aura around him when he's running. I like to think that maybe that's just what that is, and that this is just going to be how Sonic looks when he goes super fast now. Maybe taking some inspiration from the movie, as well as that. There are other effects that don't match up with the Wisp, so it's hard to gauge it. But what I'm gonna say right now is it looks like it could potentially be another Boost game.
It looks like that. I'm just gonna disagree with you as far as like that's just what Sonic looks like now when he runs. Like it's too foreign, it's too alien, and it's too much of the focus on the little teaser there. That's gonna be a central mechanic. Whatever the new gimmick is, that's going to be that. And I'm very concerned after all of this Sonic Colors, this follow-up cartoon for the fucking game. This is going to be a direct follow-up to Sonic Colors.
So if it is
That's what I'm banking on.
If it is a direct follow-up to Sonic Colors, though, I would say that execution is everything, right? If we end up getting a Sonic Colors 2, as awkward as that might be to deal with, if they decide that they're going to stick with more open level design, and they decide that the yes, Pup?
Commit to 3D.
I agree. I agree 100%. If they can commit to 3D or even mostly 3D, like 80 to 90% with like the odd level here and there, maybe cool. I'm fine with that. If we can get a game that is executed and it treats the Wisps as actual power-ups and not as the gimmicks they are in Colors, because the problem with the Wisps in Colors isn't that they exist. The problem is with how they're implemented. When you activate a Wisp, Sonic stands still, and then a gimmicky mechanic happens, and then it's done. If the Wisps were acting more like the color shield or the shields from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, then there'd be a lot less issue.
Well, something I wanted to also note is like mainly people's issues were the Wisps outside of Sonic Colors. They fit well in Sonic Colors, but they don't belong in things like Lost World and Forces. One thing I was going to say though is I felt that in Colors the Wisps were too much of a crutch because there's a lot of areas in that game which are long slogs if you don't utilize the Wisps, and if you do utilize them, it's the only way to make it entertaining.
Well, and some of the Wisps in that game, like Rocket, are just flat out boring.
I said in my review though, the Wisps saved Sonic Colors. There's a whole part of that game, in like the aquatic park level, where you are just jumping from block to block to block unless you capitalize on that laser wisp, which just carves out that entire section. So it's like I'm hoping that if they're doing a Sonic Colors 2, they have really well thought out level design, less reliance on 2D, and not an over reliance on the wisps in order to make the level design entertaining. If they can do that, I'm happy to roll with this Sonic Colors circle jerk thing they got going on. I would much rather have something that drifts a little bit away. Drift, that's something you couldn't do for most of the fucking game as well. I wouldn't mind having something that drifts a little further away from that. So, like, if it's better than Colors 1, I'm game. But I'm going to say it right now. I'd rather have a Sonic Forces 2 to actually capitalize on that lost potential. It's called platforming, but, like, there's different types of platforming things.
There's different types of platforming, man. Like, there's a reason why Sonic
is good. Colors...
I'm always going to have a problem with block platforming. It's fine. I'll come to the defense of the Boost era. I'll come to the defense of Colors. I think they're competent games, but I'm not going to pretend like I liked block platforming. The reason why Sonic stood out in the 90s is because he went against it. Put in slopes. And regardless of whether you were doing basic platforming or you were on slopes or you were going super fast, it didn't matter because Sonic had the same set of momentum-based physics throughout the entire experience. The block platforming stops you dead in the fucking tracks. I like Colors well enough. I don't need more of it. I'm tired of the Wisps. I'm sick and fucking tired of the Wisps. They're a crutch. They're stupidly designed. They're mostly needless in future games. I just get Wisps all over the place when I look at that quick teaser, and I don't want it. I don't. Just give me, God damn it, just give me an open world Sonic game. That teaser.
There is a chance that maybe it's not a Wisp thing, and it just right now it looks like it could potentially be the laser Wisp because we see the way it behaves. It doesn't behave like a Wisp. And we don't see a Wisp.
I disagree.
Creature.
I disagree. If they wanted to shape, if this game was all about focused on 3D gameplay, if this was focused on like an open world or like all this other stuff we've been begging for forever, there would have been an emphasis on that. Even in a quick teaser, the teaser was specifically Sonic changing colors while he ran, zipped around, and then there's like an ancient text. So it's going to be some corny, stupid alien bullshit, and there's going to be some hokey new fucking power up for it. That's
Let's write it off
what it is.
before before you've even seen anything. Like the thing is, this is the most vague announcement trailer we've ever had for a Sonic game. I'm gonna say that right now.
You're not.
But I
Well,
don't-
it's not. It's not though. Unleashed did this too, where they're like, "Oh my god, boost, 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 boost," and then there's like a big scary werewolf hand.
No, the Unleashed
Actually-
announcement trailer was the Unleashed announcement trailer was him juggling a ring, and then the werehog's paw thing comes at it. We don't really have any actual answer as to what this blue aura thing is.
And at the time, we didn't have any answer to that either. Just like with the
I know,
with
but
the release of
that's
Secret.
quite obviously a big fucking monster hand. This, we don't know what the fuck this is. We just know that Sonic glows now.
Well, and
I'm
with the
saying new Wisp. I'm saying new Wisp.
with the release
I
of
know, but
Sonic
we
and the
don't
Secret
have
Rings, we got him
confirmation.
just juggling a Wiimote, and then he just said, "This is something interesting," and that was about it at the beginning too. Like this is,
No, you see the flame. You see the flame come out of his chest in that as well. I mean, that's vague.
but
But
that
I'm just going to say this: Sonic glowing blue is not that much of a foreign concept. I'm just going to say it straight up.
But
He
it's
did
the
it in the
entire
movie.
focus. It's the entire focus. And those patterns are not Sonic related. That's nothing to do with speed or wind or electricity or anything. Like that is completely foreign. Like that is going to be a power up. I guarantee you it's going to be a power up.
I'm just going to straight up say this: Sonic's every animation was foreign at one point.
Yes.
No.
Well, hold on, Pup. What you seem to be doing is taking a lot of stuff in hindsight. Oh, it's obvious that this was the Unleashed hand in hindsight. It's obvious that this was this in hindsight. And I'm fairly certain that what we're getting in this trailer, that what looks to be a central mechanic for powering up Sonic speed, however that's going to work.
I think it is a central mechanic, but I'm not writing it off as it's a Wisp yet. Like I'm gonna watch the trailer muted right now again, just so I can see if I can pick up anything new for us to discuss.
Even that's just
I'm
my
calling it
centralized
now.
theory.
It's gonna be a gimmick. I don't think it's a Wisp.
Well, regardless of the source of it, it's going to be the central gimmick. That's what I'm calling from. It's just going to be the next new way to interact with Sonic, and that tells me it's going to sit on the bones of what's come before, and that's probably Boost. It's probably
It definitely. Okay, so I've just watched the first like 10 seconds. See, Sonic is running through the forest pretty normally. I love how the forest looks. It looks like they're going for a more realistic aesthetic, which we haven't noted. And then we see Sonic power up blue. We see some little purple squares surrounding his shoes as well. And then he zaps into like a boost form. And that looks to be the new boost animation. He's got trails of purple and blue fire behind him. This doesn't look like any Wisp we've seen yet. And there's definitely no indication that that is a Wisp. We then go to... We're kind of breaking this down. We then go to the Sonic Team logo, which appears to be in some kind of ancient... It's got like ancient scribe and patterns around it.
literally just did this.
So I'm going through, and yeah, he does a loop.
Okay, Pup, we're not going to just sit here and wait for you to finish saying.
No, I know.
I
I just talk while I watch it. Just talk while I watch
But here's
it.
my other theory. If it's not Wisp related, it's going to be dimensional related. Like that's going to... Like if Sonic sped up to a point where he blasted off into another world or something like that, like kind of like Rift Apart or whatever the Ratchet game would be.
That would kind of make sense if they did a if they decided to bring back an old mechanic from like Sonic CD, where you could get a power up that allowed you to go fast enough to just kind of break through time for a bit. If they decided to bring something like that back, but for a 3D game, I think it would be interesting at the very least.
Yeah, so maybe it is closerly, maybe it is directed like closer to Prime than I realize. I still don't think so, but I think the important things are like these weird, strange shapes that come in terms of like when Sonic's powering up and blasts off, and then he makes a circle movement. That could either be just making the form of that weird alien or ancient text that comes out of it. Or it could be like, this is how we implement the mechanic where Sonic has to zip around something.
Yeah.
Like I said beginning, like Tron style. I don't know.
So looking at this, I think what's going to happen is Sonic is investigating a new world, a new land. There's ancient stuff going on. He's going to find some kind of power-up, or maybe it's going to be like a force thing in that he can tap into like the atmosphere of this world and utilize that. I'm gonna hedge a huge bet it's boost because they make a point of showing Sonic jump from one speed to the next.
Yeah.
So I think it's boost, but like it looks to be like maybe there's more of a focus on exploration given the size of this forest. Like
Potentially, I want to
it's
be
hard
wrong about
say.
everything I'm saying. I want to be dead wrong.
I'm not gonna write it off just yet. I think it looks like it's another boost game, and it has a gimmick, but I'm not gonna write it off yet.
I will
You know?
I
So-
will say, bear in mind that as we have seen no gameplay trailer and we have only seen CG, the only estimation we can pull from here is from whatever visual effects we see. So like the boosting gimmick that's here, that's practically the only thing we can make a judgment on. The aesthetics of the area, the openness of the field, all of that, I literally do not think we can pull any judgment from any of that.
That's fair. I will say this because people brought this up in the chat, and I don't think it should be ignored. Because Sonic more recently seems to like to pull from Nintendo and their successes and try to ape it in different ways. But everyone's saying Sonic of the Wild, like Sonic Breath of the Wild, super strong vibes of that.
If they did that, I'm going to be honest, that would be the most exciting thing for me. I know that I mentioned before that like one of the most exciting things for me would be getting a proper, Sonic and Eggman introduction, like a lore one would be the thing that would make me super happy. But if they decided to go full on, hey, we've got an open world Sonic game so that when you have boosting and shit around here, like you've got a giant open area to play with it in, I'd be 100% okay with that.
Oh, dude, I would freak out. I'd be so happy. I'd be so
Literally been
unbelievably
saying,
happy.
like the boost gameplay just needs to be utilized. I'm fine with it sticking around, but it can't just be like it was in Forces. Like they need to double down on what made it work in Sonic Generations, and that was how much movement there was to it, how much space you had to work with it. Give us more of that. Give us more space.
Well, I mean,
have we read the super chat from Infinite Chaos?
No, we have
no,
not.
I was gonna get to that. He said, "I don't know about you guys, but if that entire video was very wispy, and if we get another game with wisps, I might have to whip out the Glock." I mean,
Don't think it's wisps. I think
Just
there's a power up,
violence.
but I don't think it's wisps.
I think
I
there will be wisps.
I'm very paranoid that it might be wisps, but I hope you're right, Pup.
And then
We don't see
'cause it's
wisps
just-
power him up. He does that on his own.
he
So
does that himself, yeah. Like, and then like just because we see Sonic doing something new, we shouldn't necessarily jump to the conclusion it's wisps. Like, if the Unleashed trailer came out today and we saw the werehog hand, we'd think, oh, he's got the fucking wolf wisp, you know?
Wolf
Um,
wisp.
well,
Kid Ace
let's.
sends $4.99 and says, "Rest in peace, Sonic Generations 2 and Mania 2."
I don't think
I
Mania
don't-
2 is off the table.
I don't think it's off the table at all.
Mania 2
Absolutely not.
eventually. I'm just surprised we didn't hear anything about it today.
Well, I again, like I said in our other podcast yesterday, I think this is the start of things. It's very possible they brought Whitehead back to do the S3K remaster, which makes sense to me. I mean, if that's what he's been working on, that's what he's working on. That's whatever. I've seen a lot of people saying that Zippo is completely false now. And you got to remember, like, I was the first one to kind of just write him off with his first rumors. But just because we didn't hear anything today doesn't mean he's wrong. There's nothing contradicting anything he said. He said we're going to get a collection. He is a little bit wrong as far as like obscure games, unless he was talking S3K, because he went and said that fairly recently. And what else did he say? He never mentioned colors. I don't know, but until we see like the actual game itself, it could be open, and if that's the case, like he's spot on about that. If it's more adventure style, but I do still think we're gonna get an original 2D game down the line. I just don't think it's ready to go. Everything I saw today felt very makeshift. Like we're showing off cameos, we're showing off these quick little things that developers can throw into their games without any issue. They emulated Nintendo to like an obnoxious point, like with their presentation. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, maybe it is very Breath of the Wild inspired, just trying to take what Nintendo. I think Azuka just plays Nintendo games. He's like, I want to do that.
Sonic Breath of the Wild would be incredible. I just want to say one more thing. I'm kind of hoping, and this is kind of a reassurance, this trailer. What I was kind of hoping was that the anniversary celebration would be like the collections and the remaster. and that the next Sonic game would just be the next Sonic game. It's not an anniversary thing. There's no familiar levels. There's no classic Sonic. And put it this way, we didn't see classic Sonic in that trailer, which
True.
that's a start. That's a start. We
That's
didn't
a
see
step
familiar
in the
levels
right
in that
direction.
trailer.
Yeah.
That's a start. And like oh god, the people, stop it. You're riling me up. People saying that it's going to be a strictly 2D boost game. Get out of my face. I don't need this energy right now.
It turns out it's just a very elaborate remake of Sonic Rush.
I beg that this thing is 3D, or
I
at
do
least
too.
mostly 3D.
I do
'Cause
too.
colors
They keep. I
doesn't
just.
cut it.
I find it so fucking obnoxious. They do these teases and they're like Sonic Team. Like they're a big name. Fuck off. You guys are a mid-tier development team. Get the fuck out of here. I will show that much excitement when it's headcanon again. Like it just fuck off, Sonic Team. You guys aren't that good. You do fun. You're not that good. I just the pretentiousness of this fucking.
I mean,
I don't
to be
know.
fair,
I get
Nick, you're
irritated.
complaining about a developer putting their logo on a game.
No, but they like it's such a big emphasis. Like it's like the
It's
big
literally
deal.
just the name comes up. It's literally just the name comes up on screen.
I'm just explaining the point of the fucking trailer pup. They do this every time with their games, and they're usually not that good. Like the big selling point is that it's Sonic Team making a game,
That's
and that
not
it's
the
just
selling
obnoxious.
point. That is not that you are projecting there.
Wait, how is he? Do you know
Sure.
what projecting means?
Sure.
Is projecting his dislike for Sonic Team onto the trailer, saying they bigged it up when it's
That's-
literally
That's
it's
not
a
what that means.
That's not what
completely
that means, Pup.
standard.
This
Okay,
is-
all I'm saying is, okay, Mr. Dictionary Suris. All I'm saying is, it is a completely normal thing for a game trailer to have the name of the dev in the trailer come up in the style of the game.
I think what Nick is saying though is not that he's criticizing the game because it shows Sonic Team prominently. He's criticizing the fact that there is nothing to be excited about in a Sonic Team produced game because Sonic Team has time and again shown that they don't know how to handle this franchise in recent years.
So that I get. I was just talking about when he was saying that they proudly present their name Sonic Team.
Because there's nothing to be proud of
All right.
anymore.
I'm moving on past this point. I'm not going to explain myself any further. I am going to say this about adventure fans. I'd imagine they're pissed as hell right now. I'd imagine they got to be furious after this because they got nothing from this this little setup today. Classic
Yep.
fans we got S3K back, and if nothing else, even if it's kind of like a weak collection, we got it back, and I'm thankful for that. So on that front, I'm very happy. We're just speculating on the new game, whatever it's going to be. It's just speculation, and I thought it was just going to be that quick tease, and that's what we got. I imagine we're going to get more later this year, and I very much hope they just slap me in the face, say "fuck you." We know what we're fucking doing, but there's nothing for adventure fans in there at all.
Yeah,
I feel that.
we didn't get there's boost era stuff, there's classic stuff, but as far as adventure stuff goes, we didn't even see a whiff of like even just a all they would have had to have done to make adventure fans a little happy would have just been like shown just a small tease of Shadow or something like that, like very very briefly, and we got nothing in that regard.
I think Sega view the modern Sonic and Adventure Sonic as just one and the same, and it's like, you know, if you say, "Oh, Adventure fans got nothing," they will just point to anything modern Sonic and say, "There he is." And I agree, it doesn't cut the cheese. Like I would love something that's a bit more. Meteor says, "See, but that PNG ain't that bad now." I wasn't complaining. I was just happy for it. Okay.
Hi
yeah,
guys,
no,
I'm
like-
Sonic the PNG Hog.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
Oh, there
There's-
was Sonic Adventure 2 music playing at the start of the stream. There you go. See, we got a bit of repping.
Oh
There we
yay,
go.
I'm so
There's-
happy.
Yeah, let's see. Felix says they really played the SA2 intermission music at the start and then did nothing to nod at adventure. And again, guys, I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again. Like, this is the start of things. You got to keep in mind, we got other things coming along the lines. We got a lot of covers dropped for IDW yesterday, and we're going to get some more information on their front early June. We have Sonic's birthday coming up still. I imagine we're going to get more there, but also how mishmash the fucking classic games were.
Yep.
That's that should tell you something. I mean, for God's sake, so we can't even have like full screen footage of S3K for 2 seconds in that game or in that trailer.
Davidson does make a nice, comforting point. It says, to be fair, the new game could totally end up being adventure style. We don't know. I mean, it could literally be adventure style, and just that weird alien whoosh boost zap thing is just a feature. That's reaching. It's very unlikely, but like, yeah, I think also as Forthful Mark 2 says, I think there might be more news at E3 as well. I think we're gonna hear more about this soon. I'm like, to kind of give my overall opinion, I think there's some it's so weird. Like, I'm glad there's a new Sonic game coming, and I'm glad that the Sonic brand is still active in gaming. Basically, I'm praising Sega for tying their shoes at this point.
I mean,
I'm glad there's no classic Sonic in the next trailer. I'm glad there's no Green Hill and Chemical Plant. The things that I'm happy about from this, my positive takeaways are things that should just be givens at this point.
I'm so glad
I'm not disagreeing with you there. Like, the S3K thing should have happened literally years ago. We shouldn't be in the legal limbo with the best game those guys have ever made. It's a little disappointing on that front, but
Unleashed should not be in legal limbo. There's literally no reason.
Unleashed isn't, though. Unleashed is fine. I'm talking. God, you son of a bitch! Oh, I walked right into that.
You did,
son of a bitch.
You did. You let it happen to you and everything. Holy shit, Nick.
Oh, but God damn it.
Maybe you should try opening your heart.
Let's just keep in mind, guys. Like, it's not June 23rd. It's May 27th. I think we're gonna get more of a rollout of stuff. I genuinely believe this is the start of things, and I know a lot of people wanted a lot more, but I mean, I say all that, but if there was gonna be more, I would have hoped they would have been like, hey, just stick around for his birthday. Got a little bit more for you. So we'll see.
I'm really hungry. This thing has overlapped dinner time.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I'm having fun here.
Oh man.
I think we are starting to hit kind of that time though.
Yeah,
we're getting close to it.
So shall we give our like concluding thoughts on this whole matter and take it in turns?
Yeah, if you guys want to go first here, I'll read chat, see if we're missing anything here.
Sure thing. I guess I'll go ahead and give my thoughts. My favorite era of Sonic is adventure. That was not represented here very well. However, what I'm excited about is the fact that we are getting those classic collections, and it looks like they might actually, instead of just being, emulated ROM versions, they did say that there's going to be new stuff added to them. That's the thing that's the takeaway that I got from here. That's the thing I'm most excited for. I don't have the ability, I think, after being burned by Sega so many times, to really be excited for the new Sonic game that they teased pretty much the way that I thought they would tease it. If it's a little better than a Metroid Prime 4 teaser, where they dropped down, just the very brief title, and that was it. It's a little more substantial than that. There was a little bit of CG, but without being able to see any gameplay, without being able to see anything like that, I don't know how to feel about it. I want to be excited, because I want Sonic to be a franchise that excites me, because it is one of my favorite franchises of all time. But we're not there right now, and I want to see what happens with this. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the development for this new game.
Before I step in, JR sends a $5 super chat, thank you, and sends a little tease from Tyson Hess, potentially teasing the name being Sonic Zap. And like a lot of people have been mentioning this, every Sonic game title sounds stupid until you actually understand the context of it. I'm going to say that. I mean, if you want to talk about stupid Sonic titles, can I remind us all that the crowning achievement of 90s video gaming has a dumbass name like Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah.
That is a stupid name. There's
It's
no
a
argument.
horrible day. It's a terrible day.
So like, yeah, I don't know. And the text at the end does appear to spell the word zap, maybe. It sounds very 90s. My overall thoughts on this.
What if the name is
Sega-
Zap Zap Zap? What if it is that Bart Simpson's thing? Sonic Zap Zap Zap.
I'm so glad that we got the Sonic Onomatopoeia collection.
Oh man.
So,
Oh,
yeah, like here's the thing. Like, as a Sonic fan, obviously there's been some disillusionment with the Sonic franchise, thinking, what is this series doing? It's stagnating a little bit. And like we didn't really get any sense over the past like 10 years or so that Sonic Team were really willing to aim higher than just making okay, passable little McDonald's Sonic games. And this this shows us that Sonic exists still, and that there is activity going on within the cortex of this hedgehog's brain.
I'm so,
Um,
I'm so
all I
glad
can
that
say-
Sonic is not currently a vegetable. It's the
I-
best
I'm
we
so
can
glad
do.
that I'm so glad that they're still making Sonic games. Literally, like in my live stream, like, oh, there is a new game. Oh, great! We know there's going to be a new Sonic game. And it's like, fuck me, this video game character has a new game, and that's my main takeaway. There was nothing from the movie of any sort, which I guess whatever. It's a different team at the end of the day. But literally, like they're leading this whole thing with Sonic is running. Sonic is unstoppable after all these years, and it's like just about, but he's going very slow. And this live stream, all I can say is yay. There's more to come, and that's a hollow feeling. I like the CGI we had in that little trailer. The environment looks gorgeous. It looks a lot more visually appealing than the first Sonic Forces tease did. And I'm trusting that the longer development time for this could mean something. So I don't know. I'm just happy that they're not abusing classic Sonic in modern games for this one. I shouldn't have to be
We
happy
don't know
about
that yet.
we don't know.
They would show it. They would show it. So
Well,
that's all I got. Is I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. It exists.
I'm kind of with you, Pup. I think you're probably the most on point with your predictions on how you were going to feel about this. I wanted to be at a 7. I'm at a 5 as well, if I had to put a number on it. I'm trying to take this for what it is, and I do think this is just the start of announcements forward. But a lot of this, I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised with how makeshift this felt. Like this felt like all these projects were put together a couple months ago, not a couple years ago. And that could be the case for getting the rights to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We don't know anything about that until we get some more information from dev teams about what's going on there. We're not going to know for sure. And honestly, like the most excited I am about this is from a game that has been on collections multiple times before and was only very recently hard to come by. I'd say in like the last not even 10 years, right? Because
Just
Sonic 3
the
and Knuckles has been on
previous
stuff.
console
I mean, it was
generation,
on
really.
it was on the DS of all things too.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't that long ago that S3K. This has only been like a more recent like legal issue, and I'm more excited for the potential of toys than I am to play the game again because I'll buy it, and I'm gonna be very excited for it. But I'm more excited in the sense like for future gamers to have this legacy in their hands and experience it for themselves and not have to rely on YouTubers telling them how they should feel about it. Because I respect that legacy. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I think it's a very important game for the franchise. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm actually going to sit there and play it more than once when the collection finally comes out. Because I've played it. I've played it hundreds of times at this point, and I want something new. So I'm glad they got it sorted out, and I'm happy they got it sorted out. But when that is the most excited I am from this this live stream, then or whatever this is like that, I think that's a bit of a problem.
So basically,
Yeah.
what we've got is Sonic Colors on Dolphin, but now you can pay for it. Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited, but now you can pay for it. And they will eventually make a new Sonic game.
Yeah,
That's what we got.
basically.
Also,
Oh,
Dr.
and there's-
Robotnik is in Sonic Prime.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik is in Sonic Prime, guys. Be very, very happy.
Yeah, that's there's not enough there. It's a start though, and I
What if
think
it's
we're gonna get
fucking
more. A lot of this stuff, like the Origins collection, the show, the fact that they're showing the show itself in this stream should be telling for us. If I'm honest, like I don't know why I didn't think about it until right now. Like maybe it is a little bit more involved than I'm giving it credit for, you know? Because that is important. That it's premiering in the Sonic official Sonic stream alongside Izuka and the Ivo. A guy literally named Ivo.
Can you imagine
So,
they just ran around
we'll
the
see.
office just trying to find the one guy with the name they needed?
Yeah, for real. But I think I'm going to be more disappointed if June 23rd comes around and there's not more to say or show. I feel like I'm still waiting for the thing to really make me jump out of my seat. I guess that's what it's coming down to.
As long as they don't announce the new Sonic games title as being Mobius Unleashed, I think we'll be okay.
Oh my god.
There's,
I'm just making a tweet right now. I'm just saying, good for you, Sonic. You still exist.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will get that, and if you do, don't tell anyone else.
Don't, for God's
I got
sake.
it.
I'm
It's,
gonna...
it's a rehash of my PAL Comics joke.
Yep. Said the Ivo thing is the Doug Bowser Sonic thing all over again. It's true.
Yep. I said that
Disappointed
joke.
there's no announcement for Sonic 4 Episode 3 either. Like, where's that at?
All right, guys. Well, I don't really think there's much more for us to say. We're all just kind of, yeah, I guess that happened. Cool. Unless there's anything else. We'll be around. There's going to be more stuff. I mean, June 23rd. Is that when that concert's happening?
I think so.
So maybe that's the big thing happening on Sonic's birthday is just more awkward live music that I don't need. So
I mean, if
there
we
we go.
if we can get some more orchestral versions that aren't live afterwards, then I'll be fine with that. I'll be fine.
I guess so.
I like Sonic
It's-
music. It'll be okay.
I do too. I don't need a concert for it. I don't need to sit down for it. Obligatory B theory mention.
We've
Did
already
we do that
mentioned
yet?
it, I think.
Yeah,
I
we did that
think we
already.
did.
We had a super chat about it earlier, so I kind of was paid to bring it up.
Yeah.
Wait, Pup, does that mean
Chaos
you're a
God of
B-Theory shill?
Dispatchio.
Would you
I'm
say?
gonna
Suris?
say. Go for it. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, are you a paid shill for the B theorists?
Yes. I've got to be paid for something.
Yeah. I for the comic stuff, I'm glad to see Spaz is back. It's good to see his art again.
Did you just say the S word? Don't
Swear
you
to
know
God.
I'm British and that word's offensive over here?
Oh my god! Stop! Artist Patrick Spaziante, very famed cover artist for a lot of Archie Sonic, is doing a cover for one of the 30th anniversary things IDW is doing, whatever the hell it is. There wasn't any comic news. We are going to get some soon. I know some people want to see the Freedom Fighters. I would love to see them too. I don't think you're going to get the Freedom Fighters. If Sega's wrapping up the legal garbage with S3K, who knows? But I doubt they'll go to the effort for the FF.
They're gonna
That's
give us the Freedom Fighters, and it's just gonna be Antoine. Only Antoine. The only one they're gonna pull out of legal limbo is Antoine, everyone's favorite freedom fighter.
Yeah.
And the brain dead version of Charmy the Bee.
He's not brain dead. He's not brain dead in the comic.
He's just scrambled a bit.
Brain damage. Sorry, brain damage.
Brain damage.
Oh god, now I've got the whole Chaotix theme stuck in my head. Thanks, Nick.
Dude, that song just it slaps, man.
It
as much as I talk shit about spoken lyrics in game music, the Team Chaotix theme is so fucking good.
Right,
Oh my god. And I didn't even realize it until I did the videos. I was just sitting there just listening to it like, this has no right being as good as this is.
So shall we go? Can I have dinner now?
Everybody in chat, please let us know if Pup can eat food.
What is
got-
beef theory?
I've
Go
got-
listen to our shows. Go listen to our
I've got-
shows.
I've got chicken and rice ready, left over.
Fair
Well,
enough.
thank you guys for tuning in to our very first live stream on here. We managed to get over 400 viewers for the first live stream on this channel. That's insane. You guys are amazing.
We're not even
Live
at
stream
2,000
ever.
subs yet. You guys are amazing. Seriously. Thank you.
I've never had this many people in a live stream before. I feel like a little celebrity.
I gotta say,
It's pretty great.
this is more than I get generally too. Like this is you guys are fucking great.
I had no idea how many people were watching my stream because half of it was muted anyway.
52 to 60 because I had your stream on my third monitor the whole time.
We
It
get
was
the big
over 100 until they realize I'm an old man that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yep.
So that was okay. Well, yeah. Let's get on out of here, guys. If you are not subscribed to our channels, I'd imagine that's where you guys came from. But if you're not, we have all of our stuff in the different things. I'm at Game Apologist. Suris is at Suris the Skeptic and NekoSuris, both on Twitch and YouTube. And Channel Pup is at Channel Pup. And we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Glad to see the chat. Be sure to share this show with your other goofy, weird Sonic friends, because I'm sure we're going to be reading a lot of tweets and a lot of comments in the next couple days with some very strong opinions about what we just saw.
Yep. All right.
very hungry.
Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you all in the next episodes.